He's a salesman. He's trying to sell the fight, which is good, you know. That's what he's known for. That's why they bring him out over and over. How I speak is inside the ring with my hands. You know, I know this is entertainment, but when we go inside the ring and punch each other in the face and break each other's faces, isn't that enough entertainment?
We all want the same thing. We all want to win. All want to be the champion, the best in the world.
I would say every morning you got a chance and you got a choice. You know, there's no such thing as luck. It's what you make of it.
I tell my dad the ones I hate are the good ones. And I hate this one. Maybe it's just the want. I wanted more, I think. Just me being me. Tim's Tim, Sebastian's Sebastian, and I think Sebastian's better. Just that.
Itu dua sambung itu kembali ke kita sudah melakukan. Kamu melihat mereka menggambar dengan cara yang sama. Kita tarik mereka karena mereka dicoret.
Boy, cutting away, dude. I don't make you still.
No sparring and stuff like that, but my man is making moves before the guys go to punches. He's moving his feet. I mean, it was marvelous, honestly, to see this dude defensively move the way that he does things. He talks a whole lot during the sparring.
That's what I wanted to see.
This dude punched me with a right hand. The joint came so fast, I didn't even see it, right? And it hit me on the forehead. And I got my headgear on. And it jarred my neck, right? I said, damn! And he moves away like I was hurt. I said, no, I'm good. But goddamn, he stopped me, and I wasn't even coming at him, you know what I mean?
I'm good. Goddamn, though. Goddamn.
It got you there. That jab, use that jab, and bounce and move. You know, I mean, he was doing it, though, but he wasn't doing it like he normally do. You seen some of his fights, and you know what I'm talking about. He got so, I think, hung up on knocking, guys out. And then he found out you can't punch. He don't care about you touching. You know what I mean? But I want to get away from that. You know what I mean?
We are live at the Wells Fargo Center.
Jaron, Boots Ennis, and Sebastian Fundora are heading toward a highly anticipated showdown that could become one of the most fascinating fights in the 154-pound division. Ennis is pursuing undisputed status and sees Fundora's massive frame, exceptional reach, and unorthodox fighting style as the perfect challenge to test his versatility. As the fight approaches, Ennis has one clear objective: deliver a dominant statement performance that further establishes him among boxing's elite. Despite the growing attention and outside commentary surrounding the matchup, Boots remains focused on his preparation, executing his game plan, and making sure he is at his absolute best when the opening bell rings.
We're going to McDonald's after this. I need 2 McChickens with cheese, a large fry, and a medium Sprite. CBG, man.
Away from the gym, Ennis has maintained a calm and confident mindset, even joking about enjoying fast food during training camp and showing that the pressure surrounding such a major matchup isn't affecting his routine. Despite the enormous attention surrounding the fight, Boots appears comfortable and focused, keeping his mentality relaxed while continuing to prepare for the challenge ahead. But once fight night arrives, that confidence will have to translate from words and preparation into action inside the ring.
You know, just
doing everything I'm supposed to be doing, having a lot of fun, man.
How's it feel good to eat?
Feel great, man. Feel great. I'm waiting on my sponsorship from McDonald's, man, right now as we speak.
Yo, I saw that on the matchroom thing when you went up to Sparkinella. I like that. That was cool.
Yeah, that joint was fire. Yeah, everybody think that's a real meal and all that stuff, but not yet. We working on it. Hopefully, McDonald's come through.
Despite the increasing attention surrounding the matchup and the wide range of opinions from fans and boxing analysts, Ennis has made it clear that he has learned to block out the outside noise and keep his attention on his own performance. His priority remains preparation, execution, and making sure he performs at the highest possible level once the opening bell sounds.
I feel like they know how great I am, so no matter what I do, it's always something. That's why I got to the point where I don't worry about what nobody say. As long as I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, as long as I'm winning and making my team, my family, my supporters happy, that's all that matters. You gotta just be able to always have your mind sharp and be able to elevate your game. That'd be my goal each and every time. I'm not worry about these haters and they saying dollars, but knowing they still saying those things, but I'm always gonna get better each and every day, and that's my goal, is to keep getting better and better each and every fight, and that's what I've been doing.
When discussing the upcoming fight, Ennis made it clear that he is aiming for a dominant performance from start to finish. He expressed strong confidence in his ability to control the pace, dictate the action, and secure another impressive victory for his record. A commanding performance against Fundora would further strengthen Ennis' reputation and reinforce his belief that he belongs among the elite fighters in boxing.
Yeah, this is me.
Add that to the collection.
Yeah, to my collection or this collection?
Your one, on the right. Do it on the right.
To the right.
Is how do you stay hungry as a fighter?
Staying hungry as a fighter, just for real, just the goals that I want to achieve, and my family backing me, behind me, and things like that. So that's a lot of hunger, in here. And like I said, I'm just getting started. Come Saturday night, we're gonna add another one to the column and another knockout to the column.
Speaking about Ennis, Roy Jones Jr. stressed that the time for waiting is over. After spending years waiting for major opportunities, Boots needs to stay active and continue chasing the biggest fights available. Jones viewed Sebastian Fundora as a natural next opponent, pointing to Fundora's aggressive approach and history of being hurt in previous bouts as factors that could create a fascinating matchup against Ennis' power and offensive ability. In Jones' opinion, remaining active while facing elite competition is the best strategy for Boots as the rest of the division continues to take shape.
What do you think about Boots? You think Boots should go and try to make the Fundora fight?
He has to. Where else he gonna go? He been in this game 10 years, Andre. He gotta make every move he can make right now. He ain't got to. He can't wait forever. We saw what happened with Boo Boo. Boo Boo kept waiting and look what happened with Boo Boo. He waited too long. You understand me? So you can't keep waiting like that. He gotta go. That's why sometimes he having these lapses, because he's not, like you say, he's not used to having to stay focused the whole night because he's not fighting that he ain't got the right opportunities. So now you got it. You need to go take these opportunities now while they're available. Guess what? Fundora has been KO'd, and you have KO power. So that's not a fight you can't win. You understand me? And that makes the Virgil fight even bigger too, because now if him and Earl fights, the winner of that fight, you go to Dallas and fight that person, there's another huge payday.
It's more money.
You understand where I'm coming from? So you got to look at it from that side too, but that's not ducking. That's just taking fights the smart way. Taking the smarter fighters first, you understand me?
Adding to the excitement, Teddy Atlas praised Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s continued development and improving technical skills. He described a potential matchup between Ortiz and Jaron Boots Ennis as a compelling clash between two highly skilled, complete, and determined fighters, with both men possessing the ability to make the fight a major test of elite-level boxing ability.
Two confident guys, two guys with great heart. Look, I say this, Virgil showed me a few fights ago that he had a dimension I didn't know he had. When he was just, going through guys, knocking them out with body shots, sinking and destroying. I don't think I knew or anyone knew that he had the ability to use his legs and box and do some boxing. He showed me that dimension. He showed me that dimension in that fight that some people thought he lost. First fight that he got tested. We didn't get a knockout with
Sergey Bohachuk.
There it is.
Teddy Atlas continued to praise Virgil Ortiz Jr.'s improving boxing skills, describing a potential Ennis versus Ortiz showdown as a battle between two complete, determined, and highly competitive fighters. At the same time, Atlas highlighted Sebastian Fundora's continued evolution, especially his improved step-behind jab, long-range control, and relentless pressure. According to Atlas, those tools have transformed Fundora into a uniquely difficult stylistic puzzle for anyone competing at 154 pounds, including Jaron Boots Ennis.
That would be an interest. And then, of course, the giant, Fundora. I mean, he's learning how to fight tall a little bit better. He is, a little better. But still, he is coming after you behind that jab. He doesn't stop. I don't know what his punch numbers are. They got to go through the roof. As soon as I think he jabs in his sleep. I think that he's, like if you went in and you peeked in on him when he's sleeping like this. With that southpaw jab. The jab, he's coming out of the locker room. I think when he's eating dinner. He never stops. He don't leave you alone. And he's coming forward. He's always putting pressure. He's breaking you down. And then he puts punches together nice. He goes to the body. He throws uppercuts. You know, he puts them together real well. But he's tall and he's a target.
Trainer Robert Garcia is fully supportive of a potential Jaron Boots Ennis versus Virgil Ortiz Jr. showdown, making it clear that Ortiz would be willing to accept the challenge without hesitation. Garcia believes Ortiz possesses the talent, power, and overall ability to make an immediate impact in the 154-pound division. He also dismissed the idea that Ennis necessarily needs a tune-up fight before taking on the best competition the division has to offer, suggesting that the matchup could be ready to happen at the highest level right away.
And if he's saying, oh, well, Virgil might want to take, no, then that means he's the one that doesn't want it. On 100%, we'll take it right away.
Right. Man, no, that like you said, I feel like it is one of those fights
Great fight.
You know, people want to see over and over again.
Great fight.
Do you see Boots different from 47 to 54 at all?
Look, at 47, he did have a couple fights where he struggled a little, especially when he fought at home. But I think that happens to a lot of fighters. When they fight at home, they're a little more confident, a little more, you know, they have a lot of distractions also. So that could have been the reason. But he always showed very good skills, very good talent. At one before, the guys are bigger, even though there was, you know, oh, they're the same height, they're the same reach. No.
Gary Russell Jr. also views Ennis' natural athleticism, versatility, and overall talent as major advantages in a potential matchup with Virgil Ortiz Jr. However, Russell emphasized that Ortiz's power remains a serious threat, noting that the Texas contender can hurt opponents with either hand. He also believes Ortiz's disciplined and fundamentally sound approach could limit some of the counter opportunities that have caused problems for Ennis in previous fights, making the matchup even more competitive.
But Boots, he just freakishly good when it comes to his God-given talent, athleticism, and stuff like that. That's what's going to win him over the fight. But he got to not get hit with a. That's what he got hurt with. I saw it based off of the styles. Now, when you talk about styles and the kinks that's in each other's armor, Boots, I feel like being matched up against Ortiz, that hook is not going to catch him. Now, granted, Ortiz got pop in both hands. Stylistic wise, I feel like he has a good style. He has a typical style, to be honest, you know, but just like Xander, he's obedient. He's not going to deviate and try to do nothing flashy for the crowd. He's going to go there and get the job done.
Garcia also rejected the idea that Virgil Ortiz Jr. needs another tune-up fight before stepping into a matchup of this magnitude. In his view, suggesting that Ortiz requires an easier opponent first sounds more like hesitation than genuine preparation. Garcia believes Ortiz has already demonstrated his ability against high-level competition and has the talent, experience, and confidence to take on the biggest challenges available, including a potential showdown with Jaron Boots Ennis.
Just tells the boxing world that it'll be one of the best fights of the year whenever it happens. Or, you know, it's a great fight. These guys could fight 2 or 3 times and the fans won't stop watching. It'll be a beautiful fight.
You know, Eddie said something interesting. He said that Virgil probably going to want to fight in between, right? Because he had, what, 2 rounds against Lubin. Well, that was in November, I believe, or something like that. It was a while back, and, you know, it's been a little while since he fought. You, as a trainer, would you prefer Virgil to get a fight in between?
When a manager, a trainer, a promoter right away says, well, I think Virgil might want to take another fight, that means you're the one that doesn't want it, right? Honestly, because you're not, Eddie's not Virgil's manager, Eddie's not Virgil's promoter, Eddie's not Virgil's trainer.
Russell offered an even more intriguing warning when he turned his attention to Sebastian Fundora. In his opinion, Fundora could create an even more difficult stylistic challenge for Ennis than Virgil Ortiz Jr. because of his unusual combination of height, southpaw stance, tremendous reach, and awkward physical dimensions. Having to consistently attack upward against a fighter as tall and long as Fundora presents a completely different set of problems, creating challenges that Ennis cannot prepare for in exactly the same way as he would against a more conventional opponent.
And by the time he fights somebody like Ortiz, he'll fix the problem by then. You know, so Ortiz, yes, he got a puncher's chance. You know, he come in shape, he's obedient, just as Xander was. But Boots, he got the ability to pull away from this guy and beat him in great fashion. You know, that will be another great-ass fight, hands down.
Facts. Who do you feel like is a bigger test for Boots? The 6'4" Tower Inferno Sebastian Fundora or a Virgil Ortiz?
Fundora.
Hands down.
Fundora.
Following Jaron Boots, Ennis' statement-making TKO victory over Xander Zayas, Teofimo Lopez gave Ennis credit for handling adversity and eventually taking complete control of the fight. However, Lopez also pointed out the moments when Ennis appeared vulnerable, suggesting that the performance provided elite 154-pound contenders with valuable footage they could study and potentially exploit. Ennis survived a dangerous third round before turning the momentum in his favor and ultimately stopping Zayas in the 7th round.
Think about Boots' performance. I mean, he overcame some kind of hard spots there.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I see things, though, that I think other champions in that weight class or contenders can capitalize. I'm not there yet. I'm at 147. We'll go from there, but for anybody at 154, I hope they saw what I saw tonight.
Meanwhile, former 2-division champion Danny Garcia believes Jaron Boots Ennis is entering one of the most dangerous stages of his career. Garcia sees Ennis as being in his physical and mental prime, equipped with the confidence, discipline, and competitive mindset needed to excel when fights become difficult. Following his victory over Xander Zayas, Ennis now stands near the top of the 154-pound division with the WBA and WBO titles, making his next challenge potentially the biggest and most important step of his career.
I think the older he gets, 33, 34, 35, that's when he becomes the type of fighter you can't hit. You know what I mean?
So what did you kind of tell him in terms of like trying to like shore up the defense a little bit? Because when he got hit in that third,
it's not really about when you throw, you're gonna get hit.
Yeah.
You know, he loves fighting. He's a fighter at heart. Like I said, with age, the older you get, the smarter you get, the more wiser you get. Then you realize, like, I take less risk and I become more of a boxer. He has that ability. But now he's young and he's in his prime. He's the dog. He likes fighting.
Boxing trainer and analyst Greg Hackett suggested that Sebastian Fundora may still have some mental preparation to complete before stepping into the ring with a fighter as dangerous as Jaron Boots Ennis. In Hackett's view, Fundora could need additional time to fully prepare himself mentally for the challenge, especially considering the level of skill, speed, and power Ennis brings. He believes Fundora must be completely ready to embrace what could be one of the toughest tests of his career.
I don't think it's going to happen at 154. I think it's going to happen at 60.
Why?
I don't think Fundora wants that trouble at 54. You know what I'm saying? I don't think he's so sure of himself. I think it's going to take him a couple years mentally to be really sure of himself. He talk a good game. He do. When he do his interviews, he talk a hell of a game. 30 seconds. He talk a hell of a game, but I don't think this is just me off of my observation. I don't think he's pleased with himself just yet. to say he's gonna fight Boots after he, after this fight. I don't think.
Sean Porter also pointed out that what fans see on film doesn't always reveal the full picture. Ennis may appear explosive, extremely fast, and dominant in his previous performances, but Porter believes facing Sebastian Fundora would present a completely different kind of challenge. Fundora's unusual height, exceptional reach, awkward style, and ability to neutralize an opponent's biggest strengths could dramatically change the dynamics of the fight. Porter explained that even elite fighters may be forced to abandon their normal game plan and make major adjustments once they experience Fundora's unique style firsthand.